Reliable 100% fiber internet kaya ang sarap maging tambahay with Red Fiber.
President-elect Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. will be Agriculture Secretary, at least for now. He announces this on Monday, June 20, at his second press conference since winning the presidential elections. Marcos cites the urgency of addressing rising food prices as the reason behind his decision.
I have decided to take on the portfolio of Secretary of Agriculture, at least for now. And at least until we can reorganize the Department of Agriculture in the way that it will make it ready for the next years to come.
Marcos says the agriculture sub-agencies that need review or restructuring are the National Food Authority and the Food Terminal Inc. He adds they have changed their functions over the years and maybe it's time to return them to their original functions. Marcos is not so categorical if he is open to amending the contentious rice tariffication law as the other candidates expressed during the campaign. But Marcos says he wants to invest in agriculture by using funds collected through the rice tariffication law.
There's 10 billion that is returned to the farming community. Maybe we can have a look at that and see. Maybe that now that we are in a situation where we very much have to increase production and we very much have to support the farmers, maybe we can look at that and hopefully increase it. Meron pa naman, pag nakikita naman natin yung accounting dun sa rice tariffication, yung 10 billion na yun, kuminsan meron pang unspent.
Marcos has yet to name his health, foreign affairs, transportation, energy, and environment secretaries. A public health expert says the Philippines is at the start of a new surge as the country logs an 82% increase in COVID-19 infections from June 13 to 19. Dr. John Wong of Public Health Research Institution Epimetrics adds, the Philippines has had at least a week of continuous increases. The Philippine Health Department logs a total of 3,051 infections from June 13 to 19, translating to 436 cases per day. Despite this, the DOH says hospital utilization in the country remains at low risk. Wong says the low hospitalization and deaths, despite the sharp rise in COVID-19 cases, are due to infection and vaccine-induced immunity. In an interview with CNN Philippines on Monday, June 20, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres says the DOH is seeing a continuously increasing case rate, especially in the National Capital Region. The Education Department is planning to ease physical distancing in classrooms for schools under Alert Level 1 by August, which is the start of the next school year. Education Undersecretary Nepomuceno Malaluan announces this in a press briefing aired on PTV4 Monday, June 20. Malaluan says the current enforcement of physical distancing in schools limits the number of students that can be accommodated per classroom. The easing of restrictions in classrooms, especially of physical distancing rules, is seen to increase the number of students joining face-to-face classes. Malaluan also says the agency expects all schools in the country to hold in-person classes when the new school year begins in August. But this is applicable only if all areas in the country will be placed under Alert Level 1, and schools will meet the agency's readiness requirements. 2021 Nobel Peace Prize co-winner Dmitry Muratov auctions off his Nobel medal for $103.5 million to aid children displaced by the war in Ukraine. In a statement, Heritage Auctions, which conducted the sale in New York, says all proceeds from the auction will benefit UNICEF's humanitarian response for Ukraine's displaced children. Muratov is the editor of Novaya Gazeta, one of Russia's last major independent newspapers. Muratov's newspaper, fiercely critical of Vladimir Putin and his government, suspended operations in Russia in March after warnings from the state over its coverage of the war in Ukraine. According to US media reports, The auction of Muratov's prize shattered the record for any Nobel medal that has been auctioned off. Reports say the previous highest sale fetched just under $5 million. Muratov won the 2021 Nobel Peace Prize with Rappler CEO Maria Ressa of the Philippines for their efforts to safeguard freedom of expression, which is a precondition for democracy and lasting peace. K-pop boy group TXT, or Tomorrow X Together, is slated to hold their act, Love Asia concert in Manila at the SM Mall of Asia Arena on October 15 and 16. The upcoming concert marks the first time for TXT to hold a concert in the Philippines. And the five-member group expresses their excitement for their shows in an announcement video. Composed of Yoonjun, Soobin, Bomgyu, Hyun Ning Kai, and Taehyun, TXT debuted under Big Hit Music in March 2019. In other news, Liza Soberano officially joins Careless Music, the record label and management agency founded by actor-singer James Reid. Soberano was welcomed by Reid and Careless Music CEO Jeff O during the label's launch on Monday, June 20. Soberano also teases her fans on what they could expect from her in the future, saying there is a lot in store. Meantime, Beyoncé drops her latest single, Break My Soul, hours earlier than expected. The single, which is out now on various streaming platforms, is Beyoncé's comeback track off her upcoming album Renaissance. Renaissance is set to be released on July 29.